세상의 소리 질러 I love you 너 사랑한다고 내 여자가 되어달라고.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Riska Amalia and I will deliver my thoughts in Semantic and Pragmatic course about the material, meaning, and languages. So, let's get started. The first one is Bloomfield and behaviorism. In rejection of meaning concept equation, two linguists independently advocated the specification of meaning in terms of situation in which sentences are uttered, or also called behaviorism. So the two linguists are Firth, who are from England, and Bloomfield from America. But according to the book that being used, it's only focused on Bloomfield theory in behaviorism. According to Bloomfield, he suggests that the meaning of linguistic form has to be analyzed in terms of the important elements in which of the situation in which the speakers uses it. So there are three main points he suggests. First is speaker stimulus, second is utterance, and third is hearer's response. So Bloomfield specified that the meaning of utterance consists of 2 points. First is the speaker stimulus, and the second is the hearer's response. A utterance consists of stimulus of speaker's response and as well as the hearer's stimulus. So let's take an example between Rian and Mila. So Rian as a speaker and Mila as a hearer. So Rian seeing an orange, and after seeing the orange, Rian felt hungry. That's called the stimulus, the speaker stimulus. So the stimulus is after seeing an orange, Rian felt hungry. That's the stimulus. And because after seeing an orange, Rian giving response by utters it. For example, he said, "I'm hungry. Give me that orange." So that's the speaker, which is Rian, response after getting the stimulus, after seeing an orange and felt hungry. And that's the utterance. And then Mila as the speaker, as the hearer, activated her hearer stimulus. So after hearing the utterance of Rian said, "I'm hungry, give me that orange," the stimulus of Mila is activated, and she tried to convey and connect the meaning of the utterance that being said by Rian. And after connect and convey the meaning, Amila then give her response, which is hearer's response, by saying, for example, "Okay, here you are." that's the response of Mila after activating her inner stimulus after hearing the U-turns of Rian, who said, "I'm hungry, give me the apple." So the response from Mila is, "Okay, here you are." Okay. That's actually the way of communication in our daily life, where there's a speaker and there's a hearer, there is a sender and there is a receiver, and there is a U-turns or message that being U-turns or that being sent. That's actually the way of communication, the process of communication. Okay, let's throw back to the previous example about Rian who's seeing an orange and being stimulated by the real object of orange, which is fruit. So actually, from my understanding, so uh, from a Bloomfield theory, it's focused on the object. Like we used to getting stimulated when seeing an object. We are we are commonly stimulated when seeing an object. So when seeing the real object, which is that's proved by Rian. That was proved by Rian who's seeing an orange and being hungry. So there's critics from of the theory of Bloomfield that about behaviorism, that we are uh, used to stimulated by seeing an object, but in some cases that make this theory it's have facing criticism and have likeness is in some cases we usually didn't see the object when we utters it. So there's not existence of the object, but we keep we may utters it without the object. For example, in the sentence, "Bring me my shirt." So, "bring me my shirt." So it's like the sentence "bring me my shirt" maybe conveyed when maybe delivered when maybe utters when the speaker is not using shirt and feel cold and get goose pimple. So that's why he or he said that "bring me my shirt," but there is no object, there is no shirt, but he said "bring me my shirt," which is there is an object, but he keeps utters it. So there's a further theory about behaviorism after Bloomfield, like Queen. So Bloomfield is not the one and only conduct this behaviorism theory. The second is speech act semantics. So the central insight of speech acts is that we use language to do many things, like we describe something, we to insult, to persuade, to criticize, and etc. And according to Austin, he said that in uttering sentences, a speaker usually involved in three types of speech acts, namely locutionary acts, illocutionary acts, and perlocutionary acts. the main idea of these three is they are really connected each other. It's like the process for illocutionary act. Locutionary act, it's when the sentence is uttered by particular meaning. And next is illocutionary act, which is the particular force of the sentence then being uttered, like it influences the nature and the type of the utterance, which is locutionary act before. And the third is perlocutionary act, which is the certain effect on hearer. So the locutionary act influence the illocutionary act, and illocutionary act influence the perlocutionary act. So let's take an example between me and my mom. So my mom come to my room and said, "Turn off the light in the middle of the night." That's the locutionary act, that the particular meaning of the sentence that being uttered. And the locutionary act is the nature and the type of the sentence. Like my mom said that because she wanted me to go to sleep because it's too late already in the middle of the night, so I have to go to sleep, and said that I have to go to sleep. So that's the nature to told me. Then that's an obligation, that's a must. Okay. And the perlocutionary act is my response. It's like the effect, the certain effect, the hearer, which is me in this context. I start to turn off the light and go to sleep. So that's the perlocutionary act, the effect. So the illocutionary act is when my mom said turn off the light, and the illocutionary act is it's when my perspective about what's exactly the purpose of my mom said that. And the perlocutionary act is the effect, my response. Oh, she told me that I have to go to sleep because it's late. So, and the perlocutionary is the effect of me and start to turn off the light and go to sleep. And one important information about the standard of successful communication is when the speaker and the hearer are using the same language, like Indonesian with Indonesian, or maybe Indonesian with British, but can speak Indonesian. So it's like when both speaker and listener using the same language to communicate, that's exactly the standard, the successful of communication, standard of successful communication. And one most another important is this, the hearer is not deaf and has a clear ear. I mean, his or her ears are totally normal. Okay, I think that's all for me about meaning and language use in semantic and pragmatic. And I do apologize for all the mistakes. Thank you for paying attention. The last I say, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Always You're my star 내가 너 지켜줄게